here, of course, every single month on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville, New York, with the Baldwinsville Bees. Happy to be here at Pizza Man. It gets really quiet before I announce anybody here. So we have Tiernan, Lynch, and MJ Young. Please give them a round of applause for BVille. And we are here with both of you guys here tonight. Your coach is going to come up, another one of your fellow student athletes, but your team is staring at you quietly right now. So, Tiernan, you were here for lacrosse, right?
Correct.
So, do you have your rapid fire questions ready?
I do not. No.
You do not? Okay.
That's the whole point of rapid fire. I want to come up with them on the spot.
That's right, in the moment. So, we're here with Baldwinsville Bees boys basketball, and so they gave you a round of applause, but I want you to join them as well to give a round of applause for the BVille Bees boys basketball program right now. Show them some love. They deserve that. So, Tiernan, you got the mic. I'll start with you. This season, obviously, you guys have had some wins. You've had some adversity. Teams go through that year in and year out. What's been the biggest lesson for this team so far?
In my opinion, I think the biggest lesson has been staying together. You see, whenever we leave the huddle, our chant right now is like together on three, 1, 2, 3, together. And that's because like no matter what ups and downs are gonna happen, but if you allow that to separate you, if you allow feuds to grow, then you really don't have a team. So staying together is really important. When you have that, you create bonds, you create memories that last for life. So that, in my opinion, has been the most important thing for us. I think we've done a great job of it. Our locker room's been really good all year.
I like that. Would you guys agree? Yeah? Yeah? So, like you said, you got to stay together. You can't have those feuds. You can't have that dissension, so to speak. How have you guys stayed together? Like, not just the chant, but what things have you done as a unit, as a team, cohesively to stick together?
I think a big part of it's communication. Like before a practice, before a big game, we'll all just get in the locker room together, talk about it, like talk about what's been going well lately, what hasn't been going well, how we're going to change it. Just constantly staying on the same page, working hard, pushing each other, getting after each other in practice. I think that's been the most important thing is like communication. If we're always on the same page, it's just a lot easier to stay together.
MJ, how are you? You heard that coming from your teammate here. So that togetherness, that connection, what can you say if there was 3 words to describe this season's team? How would you describe this team?
Yeah, I mean, it would be 2 words already used. Adversity and togetherness. And then struggle. We've had a lot of struggle this year, but we've been able to stay together throughout the whole time. And I feel like it's the way we've been able to stay together is our off-the-court connectiveness. We went to Florida, and I feel like we're able to learn something about someone else that we didn't know.
So you go to that Florida trip.
Yeah.
How long were you down there?
We're down there for what, 4 days or so? 4 days, yeah.
So what did you do that you felt brought everybody together?
It was just we spent tons of time together that wasn't basketball. You know, we went to the Universal Parks down there, and we just got to learn everyone's, you know, what they would do on their free time, really. And that was really cool to be able to experience together.
So do you feel like you could tell me something about any one of your teammates?
I would say so, probably. Maybe.
Okay, so Tiernan, you get to pick which teammate he has to tell me something about.
Tyler Hawthorne.
Who was that?
Tyler Hawthorne, right?
Tyler right here? All right. So MJ, tell me something about Tyler.
Tyler is actually a really cool dude. You know, and shout out to Tyler because we're gonna shout out G-Pop and Rocky.
Yeah.
For those who know, shout out G-Pop and Rocky.
So tell me something that he could actually vouch is true. So something about that. That is Tyler. Is that true?
That wasn't fair.
Okay. So what was it again?
Shout out G-Pop and Rocky.
Shout out G-Pop and Rocky.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what that means?
Tyler, should we tell him?
Yeah, it was just like a prayer, like at nighttime. We were just like, you know, going over all the family members.
Yeah.
Okay.
So G-Pop is his grandpa, and Rocky's your grandpa's dog, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so you passed the test.
Yeah.
Well, you get to throw it back to Tiernan. You get to pick somebody that Tiernan has to tell us something about, and then we get to see if he's right. So, MJ, who are you picking?
Who is it?
Let's go Mikey, Virginia.
All right.
Mikey, Virginia.
Where's Mikey? Right here. Okay.
Does it have to be something I learned from the trip or no?
Yes.
So something I've learned from talking to Mike is his dad has really good game analysis. Like talking about like defensively especially, like his dad's really good at identifying like our weak points and where we're stronger.
Okay, Mikey, would you say that's true?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He points out like very specific parts of the game that happen. He's good. Yeah.
He's good at it. Does he help you? Do you listen to him?
Yeah.
You do. Okay. So you passed that test. You got it right.
Yeah,
All right.
We know each other well. We're good.
All right. So Tiernan, we do the tell me something good, but Coach is right over here by the door. We're not gonna let him escape on this one. Tell me something good about Coach.
Ooh. I think Coach Brown's really good at knowing what we need in games and in practices, but like in practices when he needs to be really intense on us, I think he's good at identifying that and being intense on us. And then when he knows he like needs to like slow things down and do more teaching, he's good at that. So I think he knows what we need really well, or he does a really good job of knowing what we need and acting on that.
So Coach Brown, you like that? Is that a good answer? Can you live with that? Okay. Now, I'm trying to make sure you don't run. So, I heard you had a fire drill, or the fire alarm went off, but Coach said that he used it in a positive way today at practice. Can you tell us how? It was free throws, right?
Yeah, we did free throws when we came back in, so gave us a chance to rest our legs.
Oh, okay. So,
Practicing ice in the shooter.
practice ice in the shooter.
Literally, we're getting ice.
So, who was the best free throw shooter tonight?
Oh, I don't. You didn't miss? 10 for 10.
Tyler, is that true?
I missed like one.
Miss it. I mean,
All right, 9 for 10. That's good. It's better than every Syracuse Orange men's basketball player. And I watched that on Saturday again. So, MJ, I'm going to give you the mic back here. So, Coach Brown, you heard some words here from your teammate. How would you describe Coach?
As soon as you said that question, I thought the same exact thing that Tiernan said. He just knows what we need at that time. He pushes us when we need to be pushed, and he explains when he needs to explain. And I feel like that's what's helped us stay together throughout the season as well.
I mean, that's good leadership to know when to push a little bit more and then when to kind of calm it down and just explain things.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you feel like you can hear his message clearly, be it in a game or practice?
Yeah, he gets his message across very clearly, and I feel like for us it's good to hear sometimes, you know? Maybe it's not what we wanted to hear at that time, but it's good to hear it.
So, now you get to tell me something good about Tiernan.
Ooh. Something good about Tiernan?
Something good.
TT is the best role player out on the court. He knows his job so well, and he gets sneaky buckets sometimes too. You know, he's out there getting some layups and stuff, making nice moves.
Okay.
But he just does his role so well out there.
How would you describe his role?
He's got a very he's very unselfish out there. You know, he's not looking for himself.
Okay, all right. I kind of got that when you said sneaky to get his shot in.
Yeah.
All right, Tiernan, tell me something good about MJ.
Really, really good at trash talk. I've known MJ forever, so we know each other really well, and he's really good at trash talking me in practice. Whenever he scores on me, he's always giving it to me, letting me know. Gets under my skin, but it helps me get better too.
So he's good at trash talking you, but you like it?
Well, yeah, because that lights a fire under me. It's like if he trash talks me, I gotta stop him on the next play. So.
Do you trash talk back or no?
No, I let my play do the talking.
I like that. Okay. So who is the best trash talker on the team? Well, let's do this because I'm going to ask MJ a little tweak to it. So who's the best trash talker, Tiernan, in practice?
MJ.
MJ?
Yeah.
Okay. MJ, who's the best trash talker in a game? MJ.
I'd say probably Tyshawn.
You say Tyshawn?
That'd be my number one.
MJ, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't really know who trash talks that much on the team. I'm gonna be honest. In the games,
I'm
locked in. I don't really notice who's trash talking. I know Mikey definitely get after.
Will anybody raise their hand and admit to doing it in a game?
Mikey gets after it a little bit. I know Tyshawn to say some stuff too. It's definitely one of those two.
Okay, all right.
Pope's still too scared to say something.
Okay, so for this team this season, the next game up is obviously what you pay attention to. But success to me is more than a win-loss column. Success to me comes in a lot of different areas, on the practice court, when you're on trips like Florida, when it comes to, game film watching, when it comes to obviously school and whatnot. It's not just wins and losses. So success for you, Tiernan, this season is what?
I think the biggest thing for me would be just enjoying myself, enjoying every moment. One thing I like to do before games, I've been blessed enough to start the past 2 games, and before they announce you, just like you sit on the chairs, you wait for them teammates make a little tunnel, and I would just sit there in my chair and I would just smile, just think about like how awesome the opportunity is that you can play high school basketball for such a cool town in front of all your friends, all your parents, and the kids you've grown up with your entire life. Being a senior, I'm going to college in just a few months, so I know this opportunity is not going to hang around forever. So although wins and losses are absolutely important, we want to make it as far as we can come playoff time. I think just enjoying every moment and just experiencing the season for what it is going to be success for me.
I got to ask them to clap that up. I like smiling in the huddle. I like that. Show some love for that. I like that. Where are you going to be going for college?
I'm going to the U.S. Coast Guard Academy.
You're going to the U.S. Coast Guard. Well, I'm sorry that I'm asking people to do it. We have to clap again for that. We have to clap for the Coast Guard. Why the U.S. Coast Guard?
Well, I've always wanted to serve since I was a little kid. When I was in 5th grade, I was really obsessed with the U.S. Naval Academy. And then as I started to grow, that started to fade. But once I got to high school, I started to consider the option more and more. And I also want to play lacrosse too. So Coast Guard's D3, so I figured I had a better shot at playing there. And the more I looked into it, the more I realized they have more of a humanitarian mission, which basically means they're doing more saving and more like environmental stuff rather than fighting people, which I really like. I'd rather be out there saving people in a ship like someone who's shipwrecked or something like that rather than going across the seas and fighting someone else. So,
how did you become this type of human being? We need to hear more of this.
From my dad and my grandpa over there. My dad in the orange sweatshirt, my grandpa right next to him.
All right, clap it up for them. There we go.
He's got the Coast Guard special.
Got the Coast Guard. I like
Yeah,
it.
yes sir.
So what's Dad's first name?
Chad.
What is it? Jed?
Chad.
Chad.
C-H-A-D, Chad.
So Chad, thank you. And Grandpa is?
Bud.
Bud. Where's Bud at? I can't see Bud. There's Bud. All right. So to Dad, who is like the ripe age of 21, and Grandpa, who's like, what, 30 now, Grandpa? 35? 50 next week. All right. I like it. Well, it sounds like you're raised by some good people there.
Absolutely.
So what's Mom's name?
Anne Marie. She's not here. today.
Anne Marie's not here?
Yeah.
What do you want to say to her? Say something.
Love you, Mom. Thank you for everything.
All right. Simple enough. I like that. So, MJ, I'm going to pass the mic to you. Can you top the U.S. Coast Guard?
Oh, definitely not. No,
Okay.
no, that's a special.
What about your story? What's your continuation of your story?
Yeah. So currently, right now, I'm undecided of where I'm gonna go.
Do you have a thought? Have you narrowed it?
I have narrowed it down a little bit.
Okay.
Currently, we are down the University of Rochester, SUNY Oswego, Hobart, St. Lawrence.
Okay.
And throughout the season, still trying to think more about it. And yeah, I haven't decided exactly yet, but I'm excited to see where the future takes me.
Is your intent to keep playing?
Yes, I'm going to continue to play basketball
Okay.
in college.
So wherever you go, that world is there.
Correct.
Have you visited all the schools that you just
I
mentioned?
have, other than St. Lawrence.
Okay. Are you going to go up there?
Yeah.
You're going to go visit St. Lawrence. What'd you think of Oswego?
Oswego is cool. I mean, it's cool because it's like 40 minutes away from here,
Yeah.
very close. I have some guys on the team that I already knew who
Okay.
I've played with, so that's cool to have that automatic connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah, love the coaching staff there.
Hey, Coach Leon's a good friend of
Yeah.
mine.
Is he?
You let him know if he's hard. If you go there and he's hard on you, you call me, and he'll yell at me, but I'll try. So you're still kind of undecided in what you want to do and where you want to go. When would you like to wrap it up? When's your hope of doing that?
Yeah, so, I mean, the big problem is I kind of got to wait to hear back from admissions and stuff from University of Rochester. So we kind of got to play that game of waiting a little bit. It's getting to the point where I'd kind of like to decide soon, but kind of got to play the waiting game right now.
Are you excited? Like, do you like the kind of build up to this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, but it's also a little nerve-wracking at the same time. Like, I'm making a really big life decision right now, and I'm trying just to enjoy the experience right now.
Well, you guys have been around each other for so long.
Yeah.
How are you going to deal with not being in the same place in the not too distant future?
I know, it's going to be weird for sure. It's going to be an adjustment, but it's just going to make the days when we're together even better.
Do you have anything that you do? You heard Tiernan talk about how he just waits to hear his name and sees the tunnel form and he just smiles. Do you have anything before the game that you kind of take in a little bit differently now and maybe experience a little bit differently?
Yeah, I would say just before we're about to do handshakes, sitting on the bench there, and just seeing the crowd behind, like, that's just really cool experience right now. Like, I try to take a step back for a second and be like, wow, like, this is my last time playing in my hometown. So that's what I take in for sure.
What's the best thing? You guys have talked about the community. What's the best thing about the BVille community, MJ?
Ooh. Well, there's a lot of good people in the BVille community. I feel like, so many parents and stuff, they're so supporting. I mean, our pep band, too. Our pep band brings it to the games and stuff, brings us a lot of energy. I've talked to the other teams and stuff, and they're like, we hate the pep band, Like, they hate it because they can't hear anything. But it just shows, like, our BVille pride and stuff, just supporting everyone.
Well, the BVille band, and I can say this, and I don't care if people get mad at me for saying this, when they come to the Dome,
Yeah,
they're better than Syracuse's band.
yeah.
So I actually would rather have them be there. And when you see at the end of the game, like the families and just fans of the Orange will just stand there as they keep playing, and they'll wait until it's all done. I still have recordings on my phone of certain songs. So they played the song from The Departed. So they had that. I don't know the name of it. It's like an Irish song. But I had it on my phone because they were playing it at the end of the game. And media, we were sitting right next to them. And, I mean, they came to Lemoyne. They changed the entire environment at Lemoyne, too. So
Yeah.
I think it's good that you shouted out your band. They're pretty incredible.
Yeah, for sure. It's a cool experience. I mean, no other high school around here really has something like that.
Your band is insane.
Yeah.
I've kind of toyed with the thought of, like, should they do a little intro for Wake Up Call for my show? Should we do it something? Something to think about.
Maybe.
All right, Tiernan. The BVille community means blank to you.
I mean, they mean everything to me. I think we have one of the most supportive communities around. I haven't seen a community better. I mean, unfortunately, just over on Downer Street, there was a fire the other evening, and I think the next day or the day after that, we had something going on at the old bus garage where we had people coming in and donating, and I actually think the pep band was a big part of that. I think they were there working it. But people were just so quick to jump up and say, like, what do you need? What can we help with to donate stuff? And I think that's what makes the community really special. I think people genuinely care about other people. Like, we get a lot of fans at our games because they care about us. They want to support us. They want to see us succeed. And I think that's what's so special about our community. It's the people and how much they support and love each other.
Well, yeah, and you talked about the fact that there was that horrible fire, and literally within a few hours of all that, like you said, next day, the amount of donations and people just volunteering their time. I mean, it reminds me when people say, why'd you come back? Because I lived in Florida, but I'm from here. They said, why would you come back to Central and upstate New York? Like, what would bring you back to the snow? What would bring you back to dealing with the cold and all this stuff? And I said, it's the people. Why would I want to be anywhere else to start my company than in the community that I grew up in of blue-collar, hardworking, caring people that we've been through hell, we've been through a pandemic, we've been through different things with schools and all this stuff going on. We've been through all of this kind of separation of people through the media, of people that I do not associate with. And so I feel like all these communities have struggled, yet Central and Upstate New York is still a bunch of hardworking, get your hands dirty, help each other just because it's the right thing to do. So I think it's only fair that we up here clap for everybody out there.
Absolutely.
Right? Now you get to ask me a question, Tiernan. It's rapid fire time. What do you got?
So I do a lot for the school's radio at Baker, and this is the only question that I really wanted to ask. I would ask this to all the people that I interviewed at our radio station, mostly athletes. Would you rather score a game winner, like say it's like a Friday night? Do you play any sports in high school?
Play basketball.
Play basketball, okay. Say it's like Friday Night Lights, big game against your rival. Would you rather score a game winner in front of all your friends at home, or a game winner in front of like your enemies away at their court?
That's a really great question. Because I feel like knee jerk, I want to be in front of like my home crowd, and I want to hit. And I'm a guy who was like, I was a 3-point guy, so I want to hit that dagger and then just walk off and have a good time with that. And I'd love to be home for that. But to hit a 3 at the buzzer in a heated area that doesn't want us to win, and I get to turn, and I don't talk trash, and I don't consider myself a mean person, I would have just looked at all their fans, and I would have went, and then I would have walked out. So I'm probably going to pick the second one. I'd want to do it on the road. I definitely want to do it on the road. That's a good question, though.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Tiernan, my one back to you. If you could have dinner with any basketball player, living or has passed, who would you have dinner with and why? I heard Kobe, I heard LeBron. Did anybody say Jordan? Magic Johnson. Jordan over here? Okay. There's a smart woman in the corner that said Michael Jordan, so, okay.
I would have to say my guy, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Okay.
Been my favorite player since he got traded to the OKC Thunder when I was in 7th grade, so that's like 2019. For no reason other than he's my favorite player.
All right. Why is he your favorite?
Just because I was always an OKC Thunder fan. So it was Paul George, but then Paul George got traded to the Clippers for him. So I just had to pick a new favorite player, and he was young and upcoming, so it seemed like a good decision.
I like hearing Shea.
Yeah.
I like that answer. All right, MJ, what's your question for me?
So you say you were a basketball player, right?
Yes, sir. I was not graced with height, 5'8", but I can shoot. So I got recruited D3.
What was your best moment from your basketball days?
There's two that just came to my mind, so I'm gonna pick the last year that we could do our summer camp out in Marcellus that we could play. After that, we had to coach. So I was 14, I think, and we had to play indoor and outdoor. And you obviously have to adjust your game because the rims are different and if there's wind and whatnot. So we played like part of our games inside, part outside. And we had a tournament at the end of camp. And we had been in this camp for a while. My buddy and I had been in it. He always got MVP. I had never gotten MVP for anything. So I was just playing the game. Coach puts me out there. I'm going to do what I can, pass when I can, shoot when I can. So we won our first game. I think it was our first game or two. We were inside. Then we went outside. And I had 8 points outside. And I remember I hit a corner 3. And then we ended up winning the whole thing. So we knew that we were going to get a championship trophy, which is the only trophy in my studio. Okay. The ones for participating, like thanks for being here, those go in the garbage. So we got that trophy. And then I was not paying attention. I'm like, all right, we got the championship. I'm not going to get MVP. I'm never going to get MVP. So I'm sitting talking to my friends, and they pronounce my name wrong. So it's Tortora. They pronounce it with G's and Z's and some type of weirdness. So I just sat there, and I wasn't paying attention, and he's looking right at me. And I looked at the guy, and they're like, dude, that's you. And I got MVP that year. Nice. So it was my only MVP. Nice. So, so getting MVP for that was a really meaningful moment because I can go back to those games.
Yeah.
And nobody thought we were going to win. I think we were like the Misfit Toys team out there. So to win that and to get MVP and to get to bring that home and know that I did it, because I was usually like the redheaded stepchild. I always had to work harder than everybody else. So I would say that, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I got that. All right, MJ. My question back to you. Oh, boy. We've been keeping with sports here, so. If you could, all right, so you got two things you got to tell me. 2 NBA players. 1 NBA player, you can send them on an all-expense-paid trip to thank them for being an incredible player. The other NBA player, you have to drop into a Shark Tank because you don't like them. What NBA player would you send off on a trip? Which one would you send to the Shark Tank?
I would send KD off on a trip. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, okay. Who's going in the Shark Tank?
Draymond.
Okay. He'd probably like it, but okay. But you said why you said to Draymond there?
I don't know. I just don't like him.
Okay.
He's kind of annoying to me.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, it's like he's a junkyard dog, but then
Yeah,
when he's on
yeah.
your team, it's like he's my junkyard
Exactly.
dog. But
No.
when he's not on your team, he's annoying. But I
Exactly,
feel like
yeah.
at a certain point, even his teammates are like, "Come on, Dre,
Yeah.
it's enough.
Exactly.
Like you
For
don't need
sure.
to be standing over people you just tripped and all that stuff." So, all right, we're gonna go one more round here. MJ, what's your question
Oh
for
my
me?
gosh, I got another one.
You got one more before we get Coach up here.
All right. We're gonna go a little off sports here. What's your favorite movie?
I love movies, so that's really tough. Man. Probably, oh man, I don't even know. I'm going to pick a different answer than what I usually pick. I'm going to pick one that I wanted to watch on the plane. So I actually searched it because I've been flying for the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to find this movie, and thankfully it was on the plane. It's got a lot of messages that we don't listen to as Americans. We haven't learned yet. We haven't figured it out. But left side, strong side, remember the Titans.
Oh,
That's
good
the one I
one.
would pick.
Good
Yeah.
one.
That one still holds true today.
Yeah.
And some people haven't learned the lesson, but I think if we could all if we could all live our lives like teams of different colors, backgrounds, or whatever can get into a huddle and win a game, I think the world would be a little bit better. So
Yeah, for sure.
I think, and I can't take credit for saying that, but somebody told me a long time ago, I wish the world was more like a huddle. So my question back to you, MJ, if I could throw you into a movie and you had to star in a movie universe, what universe would you want to be in and why? Could be a horror film, could be Marvel, could be DC, could be a comedy, could be anything. What world would you want to be in? Your friend in front of you is doing Spider-Man. This is what he's trying.
Not Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man.
So I hate horror movies. Hate them.
Hate him. Okay.
So I say you throw me in and see what happens.
What horror film would you want to be in?
See.
I don't like them either. So there's ones that like I would
Yeah.
not. So I like screenwriting and I've worked on that before and I'm working on a script right now. But there's a movie that I like. If I did a horror flick and I wrote it and I directed it, I still would not want to see it being
Yeah.
filmed because I'd get scared.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that if I'm in this building, I'd be like, we're conjuring up some like demon in the building and it's going to come to life. I would never want to be on the set of a horror film.
Yeah.
But which one would you be in?
So I think the one I'd be in is Truth or Dare.
Okay, that one's not bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
That's why I'm going that one, because it's not too bad.
Right. All right.
But it's still a lot. Yeah. No.
All right. That's okay. I can accept that answer. Tiernan, you get the last one for me. What do you got?
This is what I talk with my my dad about a lot. It's always changing. So you're on a road trip. You're driving, and obviously you got 3 more seats. Seats could be anyone from history. Could be someone you knew personally, or not. Could be a celebrity. Who are you filling those seats up with, and why?
Are they living or no?
No, they don't have to be, but they
Okay.
can be.
If those seats could be anyone, my grandfather's passed away when I was 6. So both of my grandfathers would be in there with me because I just want to talk to them. I want to know how I'm doing. I know I could always be better, but I'd like to know what can I do better? How can I improve? They taught me a lot in 6 years, and it might sound crazy to some people, but I believe in God, and it's not crazy to me. And I still feel them teaching me. It's been over 30 years, and I could still, like, in my ear, or I see something, and I'm like, that's my Pop Miller. That's my Pop Covino. Like, I could see from them. So I would say I want them in the car, and if I had to pick one more seat, what would I put there? Man. I would put, because I like to make people laugh, and I always wanted to work with him, and I hope in heaven we can tell some jokes to God, Robin Williams.
Good answer. It's
Yeah.
a really good answer.
And if you don't know the story of Robin and you think you know, it will make you cry, but I think it's on HBO. It's the story of what actually happened to him in this very rare form of kind of brain. It wasn't like dementia, but this thing with his brain that was extremely rare, and he was it was taking kind of him away from himself, and he was losing, because he was quick-witted.
Right.
So his mind was everything, and he could feel his mind kind of fading away, and in those moments, I think he really found a lot of sadness, and I don't wish that on my worst enemy ever. So I don't think people really know what happened to Robin at the end, and I think you should watch it. But Robin Williams, he knows it now. He taught me how to do funny things at like 4 years old just by imitating some of the things he did, and I learned a lot from his ways. That if you believe in yourself and you don't care if people think that you're crazy or goofy, go out there on a stage and do the best you can, and it's going to be good enough to the people that matter. So,
Wow. Really
Rob.
good answer.
Robin.
Like it. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, my last one for you, Tiernan. Okay, well, you've given me deep questions, so I will return one to you. You are going to be our president in 2028.
All right.
Who is your vice president? And what is your message? You step to the podium and you say, America, blank.
Okay.
With everything we've seen in the last decade plus, I don't think you could go wrong, is what I'm going to try and say to you here.
Okay.
I think we could probably,
Good point.
yeah.
I think my vice president would probably be my older brother Keegan.
Okay.
Just because him and I are on the same page with a lot of things, but also he's really good at raising up points that I wouldn't see. Like he's a lacrosse player, so we talk about lacrosse a lot.
Okay.
And he and I are really good at like arguing, but not making it personal. Just trying to help each other grow and like make things better.
Okay.
And then what I'd say to the country, and this was my senior quote. I heard from a comedian. I don't remember his name. Life is not about the pursuit of happiness, but the happiness of the pursuit. So what that means is like, it's not about the journey or the destination. It's about finding joy in wherever you are. Because no matter if things are going really great for you in life or really bad, it could change at any time. So it's really important to create your own joy and find happiness in the little things, no matter what you're going through.
Tiernan Lynch, MJ Young, I hope that you guys help lead us somewhere at some point, because the answers up here tonight, and I'm not saying this because you sit next to me, the answers up here tonight, over 5,000 guests have been on my show. I've been broadcasting for 21 plus years. This is year 22. I was just at the college football playoff. I was at the national championship. You guys gave me some of the best answers I've had in my career. Clap it up for these guys one more time.